In coaching school, they had strategies for every type of striker until someone asked, "What about Messi?" And suddenly the room went silent. Before we dive into this incredible story about how even elite coaches struggled to decode Messi's genius, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon for more mind-blowing football stories. Xabi Alonso, a name synonymous with elegance, precision, and intelligence on the pitch, had already played alongside and against some of the best footballers in the world by the time he transitioned into coaching. From Liverpool to Real Madrid, Bayern Munich to the Spanish national team, he had seen it all. But there was one name that always caused the conversation to change. One player who didn't fit into the neat diagrams and tactical plans they studied in coaching courses: Lionel Messi. "I remember vividly," Xabi said, leaning back as he recounted the moment. "We were at coaching school, and everything was so structured. We analyzed how to shut down high-pressing teams, how to counter-target strikers, how to contain creative playmakers. It was all theory, systems, data, until someone asked the question, 'How do you deal with Messi?' And suddenly the room fell silent. Not a pause, not hesitation, just silence. These weren't amateurs, they were former professionals, UEFA certified instructors, national team analysts. And yet when Messi's name came up, even the most seasoned voices seemed to run out of answers. One professor eventually broke the silence," Xabi continued. He said, "Everything we teach here applies to human footballers. But Messi, he's from a different dimension. We had to write a separate chapter in the curriculum. We called it The Impossible. That's how outlandish it seemed to stop Messi, not difficult, not rare, impossible." Another German professor with a clinical mindset and a fondness for defensive structures added, "Even if you put a concrete wall in front of him, he'll melt it with his dribbling." It wasn't a joke. It wasn't exaggeration. That was the actual description used in a UEFA coaching course. The Italian instructor, known for his pragmatic and defensive philosophy, took a different angle. The best strategy against Messi? Just pray he's having an average day, because if it's a good day, there's nothing you can do. Xabi had played against Messi many times in El Clasicos, in Champions League knockouts, in Spanish Super Cups. He knew exactly what they meant. "You think you're prepared," Xabi said. "You set your midfield trap, you close passing lanes, you position your defenders perfectly, and then in one movement, Messi goes past 3 players. It's like he bends space." And it wasn't just the goals or the assists, it was the way Messi understood time. Xabi explained, "He doesn't run faster than everyone else, he just runs smarter. He waits, he watches, and then he moves at exactly the right second like a chess grandmaster. Before you realize the trap was set, the ball is in the back of the net." But what struck Alonso the most wasn't just Messi's impact on matches, it was the effect Messi had on coaches. "Every time I faced him, I felt I came away better," Xabi said. "He exposed my weaknesses not as a player, but as a thinker. He forced me to question my plans, to rethink spaces, to see patterns I hadn't noticed. He turned me from a footballer into a student of the game." And now that Alonso is coaching, those lessons shape everything he does. When his players ask him, "Coach, how do you stop Messi?" Xabi laughs. "You don't. You adapt, you respect, you learn, and if you're lucky enough to share the pitch with him, you take a photo, because that moment might not come again." For Xabi Alonso, Messi is not just a rival, not just a genius. He is a mirror showing you what you missed, what you feared, and what you need to become better. And that's what football is ultimately about: growth, evolution, and sometimes surrendering to the beautiful chaos of greatness. Because some players you face to win, but others you face just to witness. And Lionel Messi, he's the ultimate football spectacle, not meant to be stopped, only to be remembered. If this story blew your mind like it did ours, show us some love with a like and share it with your football-loving friends. Comment below, how would you try to stop Messi? Or would you just enjoy the show? Thanks for watching. We'll be back with more unbelievable football stories and moments that shape the game forever. Until next time, keep the passion alive, and remember, sometimes football isn't about winning, it's about witnessing greatness.